All right, I think we're live. Okay, now welcome to Ask Me Anything Sunday. This is episode 80 something, I forgot. Anyway, we've been doing this for very long time, more than a year now. So what I do here is I answer questions about Facebook advertising, YouTube marketing, and anything related about digital marketing as well. And basically, I actually collect all these questions from my YouTube channel, as well as some people actually reach me out actively via Messenger or even posting on my Facebook group. So just want to quickly highlight that if you actually, what do we call, if you post your questions on my, Facebook group or all those places, right? I don't really respond to you via comment. The reason being is I believe when it comes to technical stuff like Facebook advertising and YouTube marketing, it is not effective to communicate via written words, as in like in messaging like that. So I prefer to come over here and I will share with you my thoughts or any answers that I have to your questions live via this. So yeah, basically, whether you are listening to the podcast version or you're watching video on the replay and all that, you just need to understand in order to ask questions, just post your questions to me. And in order to get the answers, you got to come back and join the live AMA on the following Sunday. Let's say if you post this on Monday, all right, then you have to actually join me on the coming Sunday to listen to my answer to your questions. All right, been doing this for 80 over weeks. I think it's pretty straightforward right now. Okay, now let's see. We have Chiwai here. What's up? Finally, the chat is working. For some reason, it was not working for last week. Okay, when I was going live on other platforms and other, it's not really that good. Okay. All right, we have a quick question coming from Cecilia. Okay, Cecilia, I'll keep your questions to the last. Stay until the end. I would actually answer your questions. And if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to type in the comment. I will get it here. I have Cecilia from watching on YouTube. And basically, everybody else, if you have questions, feel free to pop your questions or just type your questions in any of my YouTube videos. I'll be able to pick them up and answer them here. All right, so I'm just going to quickly roll with a few questions that I received from you in the previous 1 week. And once I go through all the questions that I have over here, then I will go through questions coming from you. So yeah, feel free to pop your questions. Okay, now it's Ask Me Anything Sunday. All right, so like I said, we answer questions about Facebook advertising, YouTube marketing, and general digital marketing. So okay, now the first question that I get a lot last week, actually a couple, you actually asked me this question because for some reason CPass suddenly become another, trending again. As in, I believe it's because first thing first, what is CPass? CPass stands for Collaborative Collaborative Product Advertising Solution. Okay, something like that. So basically, what's really going to happen is if you, let's say, for example, if you sell on Shopee or Lazada, all right, for when it comes to the traditional advertising for Shopee and Lazada, if you do not have CPass, the situation would be when you drive your audience to your Shopee store or your Lazada store, you actually lost contact with them. As in, like, you do not know what they do afterwards. So let's say, for example, let's say when you run ads on Facebook driving people to your Shopee store, if you don't have CPass, you might see, for example, you have 100 clicks. However, you won't know how many of these 100 clicks turn into a really product visit on your Shopee store, and how many of them added to cart, how many of them actually purchase eventually. So this is kind of like the journey that you are missing. Okay, so that's why it's very important for you to try to get CPass. However, CPass is not as easy to get. Wait, what do you get when you get CPass? Okay, when you get CPass, technically, Shopee or Lazada are going to share the catalog. It's called product catalog. Okay, created from your store products, as in all the products in your store, and then they will share this catalog to your Facebook ads account, to your business manager. Okay, so when you get that catalog, then you'll be able to run effective Facebook advertising for your Shopee or Lazada store. So what's going to happen is you are able to really know How many actually, you won't be able to know, but you will be able to retarget those who, let's say, for example, landed on your product, okay, and added to cart, for example, and ended up did not buy. So it's very important to run ads to these people because, well, they were interested, all right? They click, they landed, they see the product, they added to cart, but they have not bought the product yet. So when you run retargeting ads, it's going to be very effective because the moment you're able to find these people who are really intended on your product, you can actually convert them in a more effective way. So when you don't have CPass, you won't be able to do that. All right. So let's say, for example, if you are already selling on Shopee or Lazada for a while and you want to try to get CPass, I'm gonna offer you some insights that I have based on the market that I serve right now. So for example, most of my clients coming from Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, and Indonesia. So generally, just from the overall perspective, right? Shopee or Lazada, is it easier to get for Shopee or Lazada? Okay, the answer is Shopee. Okay, it's easier to get for Shopee, and Lazada usually is a little bit more complicated. So yeah, so basically that will help you choose your platform. Now if you, let's talk about Shopee, which is the easier one to get right now, right? So in many places, I mean in different countries, we have kind of like different rules. First thing first, the easiest to get is Thailand. I was told if you start a store and then eventually, I think you don't really need to accumulate a lot of sales, and you don't really need to have a lot of like been sell. I mean, you don't really need to sell for a long time. You will be offered CPass. So it's very easy to get CPass in Thailand. After that, the second easiest one is actually Malaysia. I was told, all right, because okay, they kind of open up for application. My friends who are really working very closely with Shopee, they said that at one point they were offering application. So there is a form that you can actually sign up. It's a Google form that you can actually apply. I'm not sure whether I'm able to provide a form in link, but elsewhere you can actually join any groups that is really like active Shopee sellers. You can actually go in and ask. Usually they already have the form. It has been quite widespread. All right. So yeah, and then after that, I was told Philippines and Indonesia are a little bit stricter, which you need to kind of like get invited. So that's how you get CPass. Now, once you get CPass, some people actually kind of get confused about what to do, right? So in order to get CPass, you gotta be ready to have a business manager because it's an integration between Shopee's business manager and your business manager. Okay, actually they are kind of connecting together. All right, so it needs to be a business manager level. So you need to start a business manager, and then I would recommend to create a new Facebook ad account for that purpose. You don't want to mix up with your existing account because technically, when you link this, Shopee can see your activities, your advertising activities. So it's your choice. So that's how we actually, some routes to get CPass. But nonetheless, if you can't find your way to get CPass, the easiest way or the more practical way is start running ads nonetheless and start getting traffic and sales for your Shopee or Lazada store. And eventually, when you're more mature, you'll be offered. Okay, you'll be offered the access to that. All right, so that's the first question I get. Now, okay, now the next question that I get a lot last week was about Meta Business Partner Program. Now, when it comes to Meta Business Partner, it was called Facebook Business Partner Program. And a lot has changed since then. I have a couple of videos talking about this on my YouTube channel, but I guess a lot of things changed. So I'm just going to walk you through a little bit about what is that all about. So Meta Business Partner is technically, it's a program for agencies. All right. So when you get to become a Meta Business Partner, technically you get some support from Facebook and Meta and Instagram, stuff like that. You get to attend their webinars and trainings about the latest features and updates and stuff. And of course, you get, I don't know, I mean, these are all the things that I get. And of course, you get listed in partner directory and stuff like that, which you might get discovered by people who are looking for you. But nonetheless, I guess for agencies, you kind of want that because it actually establish your credibility as well. So I'm just going to quickly walk you in. Let's say if you want to apply for Meta Business Partner, all you need to do is just go to facebook.com/business/marketing-partners/become-a-partner. So Yeah, I mean, if you can see this, just copy the whole thing, or you can actually go Google apply Meta Business Partner, sort of that. Okay, now it's really not available in all countries. Yeah, like a while ago, I was working with agency in Iraq. They will only have had it in 2021, I think late 2021. So basically you go through some application. So basically how to apply over here, it would say that, you know, like there is a way. Is there a button to apply? Oh yeah. Yeah, probably you would say like get started with Meta Business Partner, or probably you can go to become a partner. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, nothing actually. Become a partner, and basically, I guess this is it. You know, get started with business manager. I don't know. We used to have a partner program. I mean, a button to apply. But if you don't have it, I mean, I may not see it because I'm already a partner. So yeah, you just go to this page, find a way to apply for that, and basically just apply. Because I think it's by invitation. So once you have applied, then once you become a partner, then you have this partner center. So this is where we are right now. In the partner center, then you'll be able to see like your growth insights and all that. So I mean, the first threshold in order to become a partner is to actually spend $5,000 in the last 180 days. So if you look at this 180 days, you need to spend about $500,000. They used to have three tiers, which is the member tier and the batch tier. All right. So they used to have a middle tier, which we will add the second tier. However, since they rearrange or restructure, I mean, I don't know what they did. Yeah, and I say it's invitation based. Yes, you need to apply, then you get invited, sort of. So yeah, so now they only have two tiers. So basically, as you can see, this is my tiers. Okay, so then I go into the batch, and there are several paths for you to get into the batch. So apparently, my first path is 1.5 million. I only get about 800, 900,000. So path B, in fact, I fulfill most of them. It's just that, look, the qualified spend, you know, most of my clients actually spend quite a sizable amount of their ads budget on something else, which is not so-called, what do we call? You need to have an investment, a campaign, objective optimize, something like that for business outcome. So yeah, I'm having a little bit like, I'm not able to go to the batch level right now. I kind of like got demoted because they don't have the middle tier right now. So I'm actually in the middle right now. So yeah, so these are the tiers, and path C is that. Okay, so things you get is actually, I don't know, man. If you look at this and see all benefits, well, I don't know. I actually kind of don't really use a lot of their so-called benefits, but there will be some tools available. Let's say for, you know, you have progress tracker, analytics reports, and you can access to some of the resources like education and stuff like training. Yes, and yeah, and then support. You know, like you get priority support when you get a, you know, a higher tier. So yeah, but at least if you're here, you get some program support, which is a different level, and operational support and stuff like that, and recognition. Yeah, and the other one is you get to get listed on their partner directory, which is here. So I am listed because I was at the, you know, like level 2 tier. Although now on my partner center, I'm no longer the batch tier. However, I am still listed. So yeah, let's say if you click on this, this is my public page. So when people search for so-called Facebook ads agency in my country, then they will see my company name in one of the directory. It's the directory over here. So yeah, stuff like that. Okay, basically, yeah, that's about the partner program. But I would say if you want to apply, I think you want to get all this thing. You start with basically with the so-called the application first. All right, and CY said getting the company listed is not bad, right? So yeah, very cool, right? And he said the priority support is a dedicated phone call to them. Yeah, sort of. I used to get it, you know, and now in a way still kind of get it, but then again, it's maybe a different level. Yeah. So okay, so that's about a partner. All right, so that's about the partner. Okay, now then we will take one question from the crowd before we proceed to the next one. We have more questions on my end, but I will take Cecilia's question first. So Cecilia is asking, when your ad is clicked, I'm not sure whether did I miss one part of the question. I guess on your ads is click. What if no one ever clicked the ad? Then you won't get charged. Unlike Facebook, that charge based on impressions. Um, yeah, Facebook charge based on impressions. But what's your question? I'm not sure if I missed your questions over here. Yeah, I'm trying to get into my YouTube and see. Anyway, I won't be able to see that. So basically, um, so Facebook ads is definitely charged by impressions. So when you run ads on Facebook, you have to understand you are not paying every time somebody click on your ad. That's very different from Google advertising, which technically, let's say search engine advertising or search engine marketing. When you advertise on Google search engine, you only pay every time somebody click on your advertisement. And even if you run ads on YouTube, you only pay every time somebody watch your video up to a certain percentage. So it's a different kind of charging block. Right? So when it comes to Facebook, you have to think Facebook advertising is very similar to distributing flyers. Okay, so let's say when you distribute flyers, the hypothesis is this, that the metaphor is this, right? The moment you want to distribute flyers, you start paying. Why? Because first you got to get someone to design your flyer, and then after that you got to get it printed, and you want to get it distributed as well. So every step costs you money. So basically, when it lands on the hand of a consumer or your prospect, whether they just read it and take action or they chuck it away and throw it into the rubbish bin, you already paid for the flyers. So that's how Facebook advertising works. So that's why when it comes to Facebook advertising, it's a lot more important to make sure that you run in an optimized way because every impression counts. You are spending the moment you start running ads. So you have to make sure that the shorter you're able to bring your audience to take the final action, the better your campaign is. So remember, when it comes to Facebook ads, we have three main pillars that makes a good Facebook ads campaign. It has to be able to send the right message to the right people to get them to take the right action. So the right message being the creative, the right people being the audience targeting, and the right action is being the action, let's say the objective that you are selecting. So these three things you have to get it understand. You have to really understand these three pillars and these three areas very, very well in order to make the right campaign. Fundamentally, that's what I think. So yeah, if you want to learn further, you can actually browse around on my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of videos talking about some free trainings available on my channel as well. Just go over and take a look. Really start with some education. Don't run ads with zero knowledge. I think this is really money at stake. We just want to make sure that we spend the right way and at least understand what happened in our campaign in the right way. So I guess that's the right way to start. Okay, and then we have another question. Yeah, okay, Cecilia, I hope I answered your question. All right, so Doris is asking, if you're facing economy turbulence and uncertainty such as inflation, do you think advertisers are facing difficulties on Facebook ads to generate results? Well, this is a very good question. In my opinion, now this is purely in my opinion, I would say when it comes to advertising, it's really about appearing to the right audience and get them to take the right action. So basically, here's the thing: economic turbulence or inflation or whatnot, we still need to live our life. We will still need to buy things. We still need to spend money. Just that when it comes to spending, we are more conscious and we probably will look for the one that brings us the better value. So eventually, in my opinion, people don't stop spending. Hence, the advertising activity is still equally important, or maybe even more important because you've got to really work harder to influence your audience to take the action on your product versus your competitors. So advertiser side, I would say we need to definitely work harder. Well, we used to be able to just spend money and get results, right? But then again, I guess now, in order to make sure that we are able to get the more bucks from whatever we spend, I guess it's very important to think deeper in terms of the overall strategy. That's why I've been talking about omni-channel advertising, right? You see, like for example, we gotta spend money at the right place. So you gotta really know where your audience are looking for you. So let's say for my case, I always use my case for example. Most of my audience actually found me on YouTube or Google. So I gotta strengthen my positioning on YouTube and Google. So in order to appear higher on the search engine result, I need to work on my video to appear, and I need to work on my website SEO. Or if I don't, I probably need to spend on search engine advertising. Now, on the other hand, I also work very hard on my YouTube SEO, and I do run ads for my YouTube channel to drive the right people to come into my funnel. So these are the things. And then after that, I use Facebook and Instagram as my retargeting tool, because you may have found me on Facebook. You may have found me on YouTube or Google, but nonetheless, you are still on Facebook and Instagram. So if you don't take action that I wanted you to take, then eventually, because you came to my website through my other channels, then I'll be able to retarget you in a more effective way. So building an omni-channel advertising is becoming more and more important. Like I started experimenting with TikTok ads. Well, in fact, TikTok ads is really working very well for certain products and industries. So you got to really look at where you want to find, because in the past decade or so, I guess we are too pampered by whatever Facebook and Instagram could do for us. But I guess now we are entering the Web3 era, and platform fragmentation is happening. Like user behavior shift is really happening faster than we can imagine. I think it's really more important to build a better strategy for our campaign. But that's what I think. All right, Doris, thanks for the question. I like it. And yeah, all right. So we're just going to go through that. And we come back to another question from Cecilia. And I'm just going to hold on to that, right, Cecilia? Now, I want to come back to another question that I have. Yeah, I mean, this is another question that I received about strategizing between YouTube and social media. Now, here's the thing. I guess for businesses, I think this is really for specific businesses. If your business is, heavily search driven, like mine, right? If a business is heavily search driven, like I said, you got to really work for your search engine optimization. So it's either you have optimized your website to rank high on the keywords that you want to rank for, or you have to start spending money to get people to click, as in like appear higher on the search engine. Or the alternative way, which I find it very useful, is to start a YouTube channel. Because first thing first, YouTube video ranks on search engine. And if you are able to do it the right way, with the right strategy and everything, you can actually rank high, in your search engine result page very fast. I mean, the fastest we have experienced is within a month. 1 month, you can rank high on certain keyword and even dominate the keyword if you know the strategy to do it. So when, let's say, for example, right, let's take, for example, something that really happened to me. When I first started talking about Facebook ads for Shopee in 2020, I couldn't rank my website high because, well, I had a page that sells my course, but it's very difficult to rank high in a very short period of time. So what I did was I built a lot of YouTube videos that is optimized to rank high. So when people search for Facebook ads for Shopee and CPass and all that, they see a lot of my videos there. So, I mean, on the other side here is the benefit of YouTube is people like to watch video rather than, I mean, this for most of my case, people tend to believe in video more than just written words. So if you have videos that people can watch and feel more convinced and feel they learn something from you, and it's more likely for them to really kind of like, like want to work with you or, to actually learn from you. So that's how it worked really well for me. So I would say YouTube will become a very powerful place to build if you are actually, like I say, the search-driven business. Okay, so what I do here is I would say you can't just ignore social media, right? In my opinion, you still need to have social media because Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even TikTok, right? These are not search engines, they are social networks. So first thing first, people are not there to look for answers. So you can't be very actively be discovered on social media. So you got to work on YouTube. However, you still need to have a presence because this is where people come to reach you when they want to find out more with you or when they want to work with you. So that's what happened to me. So I maintain my presence on Facebook, mainly on Facebook. So when people watch my video, when they have questions, they come to my Facebook to ask, or when they want to find out more about my program, they also come to Facebook to ask. That's how the whole thing worked for me. So like I say, if you are search-driven business, this is how you should strategize your strategy between, excuse me, YouTube and social media. But I would say start with YouTube. Okay, so if you want to build a YouTube channel, I have a program, which is what we call the YouTube Jumpstart program. Now, this is a 4-week to 6-week program where we work together to really launch and jumpstart your YouTube channel in the most effective way and really rank high for the keywords that you want to rank for in a very short period of time. So you don't need to create like 800 videos that I have created in the past 2 years. No, you only need to start with 5 to 6 videos. That's good enough. So you need the 5 to 6 videos to launch your YouTube channel. And we have the strategy first. We build build videos in the right way, the right video, build it in the right way, launch it in the right way. And within a month, you will start seeing results coming from your YouTube videos, as in like you'll get inquiries, you'll get all these things coming in. So it's really meant for search-driven business, not just lead gen, yeah. Like for my business, definitely. For agency, yes. Financial advisor, even for e-commerce. In the last AMA, I talked about how can YouTube work for e-commerce or even affiliate business. It's really powerful as long as your business is search-driven. You can benefit from this program. So if you want to work with me, you can scan this QR code and apply. Well, whether you work with me or not, whether you join the program or not, we were going to jump on a call together. And in that call, I will give you some idea about what you should do or what you can do with your YouTube strategy. So at least, you know whether you're heading to the right direction or not. So let's jump on the call. So if you do something that you want, then, just click on this and come over. Okay, let's have a chat. All right, then we have another question coming from Chief Bill 7. All right, this is posted on my YouTube video talking about the workaround when Facebook ads account permanently banned. So what I proposed was this: if your ad account is permanently banned, then basically if your profile is going to be affected as well. So you won't be able to create a new ad account, but it's not the end of the world. So what I would say here is, now what you don't do is you don't create a new profile and create a new business manager. Basically, that's the immediate red flag that you will get. Immediately, you will get banned and disabled, and you need to go through the process of submitting, and you may not get it back. So what I would suggest here is you get somebody else Facebook profile. Okay, let's say for example you have, let's say, your wife or your husband. Get them to create a business manager for you, and then you can create a new profile and come in and manage that account and everything together with that profile together. So because Facebook really don't like new account to create business manager and all that. So this is the steps. Now, even though you come in, now here's the benefit of it here is because it's the business manager and all the assets within it is owned by an old account and a new account, which is newly created for yourself, right? So if you get disabled because of identity, which is very likely you will get that. Facebook is kind of like trying to get everybody identified, especially those Facebook advertisers. So you got to submit your ID and all that. So if you get flagged, then you can submit your ID and get it. But your partner also can do that as well. So when both sides coming in, it's a lot more easier for you to actually get through this process. Basically, you just need to get through the process and everything will be fine again. Okay, so Chip Beer is asking, would this 100% work? Now, I would say it worked for most of my clients and my coaching clients and my students, but I would say nothing is 100% right now, my friend. But you can't wait for everything to be 100% to do with the next step because you can't afford to wait. So I would suggest, why not just try it? At least you try. And if it doesn't work, then you can actually come back and tell me, because yeah, this is what I would suggest. Just start and see how it works. Okay, and now let me tell you this: the ID so-called submitting preview and all that. In order to get your ID proof, they want to prove it's you, right? The process may take longer, so you just have to be a little bit more patient. All right. So one of my coaching clients get it approved within like 2 to 3 days, but another coaching client of mine is still having it stuck. So we probably have to strike a balance, but you gotta wait. You just have to be very patient and get through this, in whatever means. Okay. So yeah, Chief Bill, I hope you get it back. I hope you try and let me know if it works for you. All right. So okay. Now, let me come back to this. We have one more question from Cecilia. Okay, now Cecilia is asking, YouTube, right? How does YouTube charge per click? What if no one ever clicked the ad? You won't get charged, right? That's true. Okay, when it comes to YouTube ads, if you don't click, if no one clicks, then you won't get charged. But that's not a happy thing, my friend. Don't you think? The idea here is when we run ads, we want to pay because we want to get people to take action. So I think the strategy will be, it's not about avoiding getting charged, okay, or avoiding spending. Running ads means we want to spend, but getting the right people to click and getting the right people to take action over is really the most important thing. So what our strategy work for our YouTube advertising is this. I actually did a YouTube ads training to my audience the other day. If you join, then good. If you don't, then you missed it. We probably won't do it again. But nonetheless, here's the strategy that we use. First thing first, we only run ads to people who are searching for certain keywords. Like for my case, I will only target those people who Google for keywords like Facebook advertising, how to analyze Facebook ads for Shopee and stuff like that. So these are the people already with the intent. So because Google and YouTube works together, right? Because I know they were looking for this, I will run my ads to appear in front of them and to drive them over into my universe. And it works really well. So that's one strategy. Now, the other strategy that we use here is this. We run ads on videos that talks about similar topics. So for example, I know there are hundreds of videos that talks about Facebook ads analytics, of how to analyze Facebook ads metrics. So I make sure, okay, I run my ads on these videos, which means before they watch, let's say, just imagine, right? Let's say they search for Facebook ads analysis or how to analyze Facebook ads, and they see a video, oh, they like it. They click on it. Before that video play, my face show first. And I'll go like, how do you analyze Facebook ads and my ads and all that, right? And I say, look, I have a program that you can actually join to learn how to do this. Do you want that? Click and come over. Beautiful results. So I would say it's not about avoiding getting click. It's not about avoiding spending, but to spend to the right people and get the action that we want. I think that is really what matters right now. Cecilia, I hope I answered your question. But if you need help, I have a coaching program as well for this cross-platform advertising strategy building. Like for my case, I drive people from YouTube, and I like YouTube better than Google because I used to run Google ads. It's not as effective because it's just not that. But if somebody with the right intent come to me after they watch my video, they are so much more warmer and so much easier to convert. So that's what I do. So you don't really need to have an established YouTube channel like mine to start. All you need is the right strategy to bring it in. So if you want to work with this, just drop me a message because we have a coaching program to really build your strategy and work with you to establish and optimize the whole strategy. Connecting YouTube ads and Facebook ads together. So that's quite interesting. So if that's something that you want, then we can come over and work together. Just drop me a message on Facebook and I'll guide you through on how to start. Okay, Cecilia. All right, I think that's what we have today. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. Basically, that's what we do on every Sunday night. Or if you want to get your questions answered, just post your questions on any video I have on my YouTube channel, and I'll capture them and I'll answer them on the next Sunday night, 10 p.m. in my AMA session. All right, so with that, I think we wrap this. Thank you so much, Cecilia, Doris, Chiwai. See you next week. Good night. Bye-bye.